What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's been a while. I guess it hasn't been a while from the uploads, but it's been a while since I've made a video. So I'm just gonna dive. Well, probably cut all that anyway. So today we are going to get this Miata out of my garage. I've had this thing way too long, and I'm pretty sure the guy's car or the guy that owns this car wants it back. So anyway, it's been really tough with work and like how everything's been going. I haven't had much time to work on this thing, but now I'm available. So we're gonna knock it out today. There's a few things that I was waiting on. My friend who does most of my welding for me, he hasn't been available. He's been traveling, and then when he was available, I couldn't make it there because of work. So I already got some of the stuff already on the car, but I'll go ahead and we'll do a quick explanation on what they are and all that. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on what I'm actually doing on the car. We're just gonna rip it together, and it's raining outside, so we'll probably go test it out somewhere real quick, and I'll probably just clean this garage up because it is horrendous. And then that's gonna be probably it for this video. Another reason why I wanted to get another video is obviously I want to stay consistent with the uploads. Channel's doing really well. It's doing way better than I ever anticipated. I mean, I thought first year I'd have like 50 views, but I got a lot of videos that have, not a whole lot of views, but I got a couple videos that's got a couple thousand. So that's pretty surprising. And the people that have been watching the videos, thank you. That's cool. I really like doing this, really like making videos, always have. I just never did it. So I'm doing it now. But anyway, the biggest thing with this video is we need to get this garage cleaned up because we're putting the Z in here, and we're gonna start doing the LS1 swap on the Z. So those videos are gonna start coming out soon. Obviously we gotta get this mess cleaned up, and I'll flip the camera around here in a second and you can see it is terrible. My garage never gets this dirty, but it has today. So again, main focus, get this Miata out of here, get it cleaned up, we'll get the Z in here, and that will be it for this video, really. And yeah, so let's dive into it. So here's the Miata. Don't know a whole lot about Miatas, but I think this is the NA model. It has the flip-up lights. I think the MB is the non-flip-up lights. But stock, coilovers, all that good stuff. Really good starter drift car, because this thing's not perfect. It's got some rust, underbody's pretty rusted, but it's perfect car, because if you go beat this thing up, you're not gonna be sad about it. I'm not a big Miata guy, but there are a lot of people that like Miatas, and they do have a purpose in the collector field. So but this is the car. It's a pretty nice car. It's got good paint. Really, I mean, once we get this thing on the ground and get the wheels back on it, it's actually kind of a nice car, It's got the BBS wheels on it. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this for him. I don't know why that happened, but if I can get it stretched up there enough, I'll put some double-sided tape just to hold it for now. But anyway, here's the rear end. This was the biggest thing. It was an LSD rear end. That being an LSD rear end, it was really hard to get these tires to, lock up or whatever, because of the stock power. So when I drove this car before, I kind of was just testing it out with the stock platform, and it would come out of drift. Like, you would start out great, it would start drifting, but it was like the car didn't have enough power to keep going. It's like you really had to go super fast. And that rear end just was doing its job, trying to get traction back to the rear tires. That's what this LSD rear end, that's what it's for. So we welded that. We welded it shut there. And that should go away with that. And the other thing here that we did, got a flashlight. So we did the cut knuckles. Go right here so you can see it. You can see right here, this has been cut and welded, and I'll throw Nelson's tag in here if you're local here and you need some welding stuff, he'd be the guy to get a hold of. But anyway, he painted these up, made them real nice, but he basically just cut right there, extended that knuckle, that piece out there, and then filled that in with weld. So I can't remember how far he said he extended them, but he did this on both sides. So yeah, so that's gonna cause the car to have a lot more angle than it did before. And that's really cheap. But like I said, that's a really cheap angle kit there because you're not doing anything. You're just basically paying the guy to weld it. So unless you have a welder and you're confident you can weld, really you can do that for free. So that's pretty cool. This car is not gonna have a handbrake, which I don't think we really need one. And I told Sean, the guy that owns this car, that he probably doesn't need one. Yeah, we can add one later, but I think the goal is just get this thing on the ground and get him driving. And I kind of wish that I didn't have an e-brake at first in the Z. I wish I kind of learned to drift before, because I felt like for a while the handbrake was kind of holding me back in a way, because like sometimes I still use it like when I shouldn't. It's almost like a safety crutch for me. Like if I feel uncomfortable, sometimes I'll just pull that brake because I know it slows everything down for a second, and it gives me a second to like recoup and like figure out where I'm going. So it's cool in that aspect, but also kind of rely on it sometimes, which isn't a real good thing to have, because I've noticed following people, it slows me down too much. On the simulator, I've been working with a lot on the foot brake stuff. So I use the left foot brake on the simulator way more than I do in real life, and I haven't drove since I've had my simulator set up, and I've got some hours logged on that now. So I'm really kind of curious to see how my driving technique changes going into like the next event. I'm going to try to make one more event before the year's over. There's one at the end of the month. Don't know if I'm going to make it because I'm going to swap the Z, and then there's one in November. So we'll try to hit that. But let's dive into getting this car done. I think I gotta go to the store and get a few things, and I definitely gotta measure these bolts out, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get those bolts. So I'm really hoping I can find a store that has bolts long enough, and then we can rip this rear end in and move on. So I'm gonna quit talking. Well, I lied, because I'm gonna talk some more here in a second. But look at that, pouring rain. This time of year, it's terrible. Oh hey, what's up, cat? This time of year, October, cold and rainy almost every other day, I feel like. And this is why I'm going to have a little more free time, because work's going to slow down. Usually from August till now is super, super busy. I don't have time for anything. And now we're getting to where, like I was supposed to work today, but I can't work today because it's raining. So, yeah, so now I'm free. So we're going to hop in the Titan, and we're going to roll and go grab some stuff from the store. And then we can come back, bust out this Miata, and clean this garage up. I got bicycles, wheels. We got to get some organization going. I might even build me a little shelf over there, but I'm kind of wanting to save the garage space because I want to get both 240s over here, because right now they're in storage. And I'd like to get them back home. And then the Z can just stay outside. It's drift car. It's missile car. It can stay out there. Even with the V8 and stuff in it, it'd be fine. It can just stay outside. It's all good. Most of that car is aluminum anyway, so it'd be cool. This right here, oh my gosh, these are so good. Wow. This garage is such a mess. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe I let it get like this. But I haven't had time. I haven't had time to get to it. And when I have worked on the cars, everything just get thrown up here. So it is what it is. We're gonna clean it up. I need to go through my toolbox and stuff anyway. All right. So there's a couple things we got to do first here. First, I got to move all this junk out of my way. These spacers go on the differential. I believe this is the bottom one, this is the top one, and the differential goes in between, and then it connects to like a support beam and something for the convertible stuff, I assume. I don't know that entirely, but as you can tell, this thing is really rusted. The car is very rusted. This thing is shattered and broke. I couldn't get these apart, and there's splines that go into, I believe this side, it goes into something like that. And the splines are supposed to you know, lock in place. So I couldn't get these bolts off. They would just spin, 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 spin. So got out the old handy grinder, cut the knob off. So I found a guy on eBay selling like a whole new kit, you know, just to replace these. But that's expensive. It's gonna take too much time. And I talked to the guy that owns the car, and we came up with an idea of just bolt nutting it. It's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna get a bolt that's same thickness, same length, and we'll just bolt nut it. Also talked to Nelson about maybe just welding a nut on top of one of these. But that's kind of like one of the biggest things right now we gotta tackle is getting this to work. So we need to find a bolt that's the correct size, because this can't be loose in here, because it's going to take vibration and stuff. It has to be pretty solid. And then the other side bolt's a little bit thicker. I have that down there, but they're the same length. So we need to figure out what length they are, and then we'll have to go get some bolts. All right, so we need a bolt that's 8 inches. I think 8 inches will give us enough play that we can figure it out from there. I can get a series of washers if it's too long, but I think 8 inches is going to be just the right size. So if we can find a bolt that's 8 inches or longer, we will be money, golden. Don't know if anything around here is going to have that. That's the only problem. Like, I don't know if Lowe's or something like that's going to have. Oh man, there's a wasp in here, and he's going ham on that light. Anyway, so yeah, 8 inches. So we need to do some internet searching and figure out if we can get something today. I'd like to, so I can get this car done, like I said at the beginning of the video. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and try to rip these on real quick, just so I don't have to worry about it, make sure it's going the right way. Nope, that's loose. I turn it the other way. I just got this thing. There we go. Look at that. That thing's pretty slick. I don't know why I didn't buy one of those a long time ago. This thing was like, I think it was like 80 bucks. I should have bought one of these things years ago. It makes it way easier. I bought that Impact, and that changed the game. And now this thing really changes the game. Alright. Because you can get it in there in hard to reach places and just rip it on real fast, and then you still have the wrenching capability, which I think is pretty cool. Of course these things closed up on me. All right, well, let's get those opened up. So, having a little bit of trouble with the driver's side, so I hopped over here to the passenger side. Just try to keep moving. And this side went together pretty easy. So, I don't know why I didn't take the caliper off of this rotor. I think it came all together, I don't know. But anyway, the brakes, I don't know if they got hit or what, but the brakes are closed up pretty good on. So I think we can rip this one on real quick. Shouldn't be. This one should be on because it was just on there. But the other side, we're gonna do a little bit of work on. Maybe not. Do some work on this side too. All right. Well, cut. All right. little bit of trickery, got this thing on. Went pretty smooth actually. I don't know how well the other side's gonna go because it's pretty clammed up and I don't really have anything that can get in there. I tried to use this thing to clamp the brakes up, but yeah, like I said, I tried to use this thing to separate them there, but wasn't working very well. Luckily this one was already opened enough that we could just, a little bit of mechanic trickery, got it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up them bolts, and I'm gonna throw this wheel on and be done with this side. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to get those calipers unseized over there. So I'm probably gonna cut the video for a second and kind of think, ponder, because nobody wants to see me get upset and throw things. Or maybe they do. I don't know. All right. Before I forget, we gotta put a fresh set of, well, you can see a fresh set of cotter keys in there. These, I don't know. You know, they may help, may not. I don't know. I don't have any on my Z because of the angle kit. You guys gotta like drill holes and stuff, but I opted not to do that. I have these laying around. I don't know if they'll fit. I may have to reuse these old rusty ones or just go buy someone, but I'm gonna slap these in and then this tire can go on and we'll go over that other side and start working on that caliper. Okay, so this side was a major pain. I ended up having to take this whole caliper apart and trying to clamp that cylinder back, and it was pretty much well off seized up. So again, this car is not in the best shape, and it probably needs a new caliper. But we're gonna put everything together. We're gonna try it and see what happens. I'm not like, you know, the greatest mechanic, but I felt like that there's something going on with the caliper here. It should have, because the other side I could almost pull it back by hand. This one I had to get clamps and all kinds of crazy stuff on it, but good news is it's in, everything's tight, secured. Angle kit seems to be way more than what they had stock, so that's good. And we're not pulling on the brake lines or nothing, so that's perfect. This thing right here, done. Front end's done. Everything's tight, everything's ready. I'm gonna throw the wheel on it, and I'm gonna bury the hatchet on this one. Gonna do some search around and find that other lug nut. So that's that for the front. I gotta find that other lug nut. It's around here on the floor somewhere, but we'll go ahead and cut this part of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and let's do this. All right, so that's the front end done. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this part of the video. And then we're gonna I'm probably gonna grab some food and stuff, and then I need to go get those bolts, some of the gear oil, so I can get the gear oil in the rear end and get the rear end in the car. But front end's done, and hopefully as soon as I get back, this rear end goes in pretty quick. Usually they go in way easier than they came out. I noticed with all the 240s I've ever worked on, I haven't pulled any of the rear ends in the Z or nothing, but all my 240s, like, they always go right back in. Like, it's like 4 bolts and 3 bolts and bam, and then your axles. So hopefully this one goes back just as well. It's gonna be a little more difficult because I gotta put the drive shaft back in, because the drive shaft came out with the vehicle, or with the rear end, sorry. Came out with the rear end because it's just, everything was just so old and rusted. So we'll grab some food, come back, we'll finish this thing up and go for a test drive. All right, boys, we got the bolts. I'm hoping this is the right size. I forgot to bring that collar with me, so I'm just relying on my visual representation abilities on how thick those holes are. So hopefully this works, but I think we'll be fine. And to be honest with you, these are pretty solid bolts. I don't know if they're grade 8 or what, but this was like $9, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we got them. Hopefully it works. Let's roll back to the house, stick this rear end in, and go for a test drive. It ain't perfect, but the bolts work. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this rear end up. 75-90 gear oil. I find it easier to fill outside the car. I'll just get it level, fill it up till it comes out of the fill plug. That's how you know it's full. So we'll do that, and then we're going to slap this thing in, and I'm praying it goes pretty easy so we can get it done. And because I'm running out of time, and we may not be able to test drive this thing today, and I'd really like to. So I'm gonna get to work, and we're gonna try to knock this out. Decided not to film any of that because of the classic case of where it should have took an hour and it took 4. So terrible. A lot of trips to the hardware store, and a lot of cussing and saying bad words. You know what I'm saying? So it's done, down the ground. I ran out of time to do test drives, so I'm just gonna take it around the neighborhood real quick and just make sure everything's cool and it feels fine. Maybe if I still have the car, if he doesn't come get it soon, maybe I can go do like some street drifts or something, because that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go kind of like just test the car out, but I ran out of time for that today. So this may be the end of the video. If I can film some stuff tomorrow or something, maybe, and then I can splice in some, quick test runs, then I will. But if not, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys. Peace.